definitely hope that you are having a fantastic weekend, and please do not forget to take seriously the measures of COVID-19, the preventive measures. You should mask up, hand sanitizer, wash your hands, keep that social distancing so that we fight the coronavirus, COVID-19 together. On the program today, I'm very excited because we have various aspects of the woman, but they matter to educate, entertain, as well as, just make sure that that message for the woman who needs to be inspired, celebrated, and elevated is catered for. Be part of our conversation by going to our social media platform. Remember, we are on Facebook as Woman360. Give us those thoughts, those comments. And today, you'll be specifically commenting on the issue of us having a conversation with the Vice President of Zambia, Inonge Wina, as she talks about the different and the various definitions of leadership in the world of a woman. She also gives us an encouragement on how not to give up and what ripple effects that can have on the 21st century woman. We will be also getting to talk to MonicaMusonda, and you will be surprised her journey coming from the legal end, getting into the industry of food. So if you are one who wants to, think outside the box and know how to, maneuver in terms of what your day job is and what you can do as an entrepreneur, you have to listen to this chat. And we will also be sitting with a group of young ladies who are going to be telling us what the 21st century woman feels like growing up in Zambia.
The most fulfilled person in life is one that is doing something they're passionate
He's been
about.
calling me. Meanwhile, the guy just wants to exploit the resource because
I only want that person to be a mentor or to be my mentor.
But actually, men, at least in terms of awareness levels, are at 55%.
Look at the way society will look at us single moms. They have that notion that
I cook, clean, and maintain the home. But why can't he stay home? How can I deal with my boss who can't understand that I am both a career woman and a mother? How can I be ambitious and be a 21st century woman but still maintain my status as an African woman? I will do my part and everything will fall in place. I am beautiful, makeup is just to enhance me. With time management, I can grow my career, be a good mother and partner.
Woman360, I am Judyngulube. Be part of our conversation by going to our social media platform. We are Woman360 on Facebook. Our first stop today, we are talking to Inonge Wina. She is the first female vice president of our country, Zambia. And this time, she dwells on the issue of leadership, how the various aspects of leadership can come through in the woman today. She has not left out the rural woman who even she describes as going into the field, making sure that her household is food secure, is leadership on its own. She goes on to talk about issues of not giving up, issues of persistence and perseverance, and how she encourages women in today's world to do that in every aspect, be it politics, be it an ordinary career, be it entrepreneurship. Something that can help push you is never giving up. Let's listen to what she had to say.
The rural woman should not be left behind, and it's mainly to make sure that food security is secured at the household level and at community level. And we can only do this if we empower the women in rural areas. And government has devised a number of programs to address the rural woman's empowerment. This has encouraged me a great deal to see that women are going into these fields that were meant for men. We are very, very excited in that women are making inroads in the banking sector, for example. There are quite a number of women leaders in banking. They are breaking the glass ceiling where they are the managers of banks, where they are in the top layer of the banking sector. We have women entrepreneurs who are still struggling, though, to make it in the business world. We want to see women entrepreneurs taking a lead in the export market. We want to see women entrepreneurs making a lead in the manufacturing sector, but they need to be empowered to undertake all these activities. Women are making it, especially you young women. I'm very proud of you because I see the strides that you are making. For the first time, we have in our country a jet fighter, a fighter pilot, a young woman. That is a milestone, something that we could not think of. Even when you fail, you should try your best, work hard to succeed at whatever you are doing. I've seen this notion of failure in women politicians. They stand for elections, they lose once or twice, and they go back. They withdraw from active participation. But let me encourage these women, whether in business or in politics or in whatever profession we hold, that there's no room for failure. You can always rise from the ashes and make it.
Thank you so much for still watching Woman360. This is what we are doing. We're celebrating, elevating, and inspiring the woman. Of course, not leaving out the male folk, because I mean they're part of our everyday life. So we'll have our male crush coming through later on. Now, let's get to talk to MonicaMusonda. MonicaMusonda is a lawyer by profession, but she broke into the market, a brand new market, which she describes as something that wasn't very easy, the food market. And she now comes through with JavaFoods. She tells us her journey of how she went from being a lawyer to being the top woman of JavaFoods and how that journey has been. So if you're one who's looking into getting into entrepreneurship, something totally different from what you're in right now, this story you must listen to.
I was a lawyer for many years. I was trained here at the University of Zambia, and I did my master's in the UK and immediately went into corporate law and spent about 15 years with various institutions, in-house as well as for corporates, but then really decided to do something different and really wanted to come back home to Zambia. And three main things were really pushing me to come home: about creating impact in my country, about creating brands. I really felt that we needed more Zambian brands, and I felt that I could be a part of that, and also just wanting to make a difference to Zambia. And so I came back in 2012, and I left the law behind. Despite all those years of studying, And it's been a very interesting journey. I set up JavaFoods, and our first product was Easy Noodles, and it was a baptism by fire, because having the first product that people didn't really know about, you're new on the block. Can people trust it? Does it taste right? And things like that. But we're a success because Zambians supported us. And we are a Zambian brand because Zambians supported us. There are many challenges. I think not just, and I was focused on being a woman because that's what I know. The first thing is, as I said, I started from a legal background, so I didn't know anything about food processing, about manufacturing, about distribution, about marketing. So I was really coming from a space of, from not knowing, and then not knowing where to turn to, not knowing how to get mentored, how to break in the market, and that was very difficult. The second one I felt was getting the right sort of financing. I think you walk in a bank and people will say, oh, so who do you work for? If I work for a bigger company, or if I had been known in the space in manufacturing, perhaps it would have been an easier way to get financing for the business. But I think people doubted my capacity and were therefore a little less willing to give me money. And so that was a bit difficult. And also just getting in the market. As I said, people doubt how good is the product. Did you make it? Does it belong to you? We got a lot of questions. Some people even used to say, is it really a Zambian brand? Is it yours? And I think that was quite painful because people didn't believe that that a Zambian woman could actually own a brand, and that we could actually think and run a business. And I started off with 6 employees, and today we're almost 32 direct employees and almost 70 indirect jobs that we've created. And this is in the space of 8 years. So it definitely has been difficult, but I think the perseverance and staying the course. So people will say that now there are women in manufacturing because they see a lot of us here and we're staying the course. So there's a lot the government can do, and I think it's not just an aspect of financing. I think definitely we're experiencing a really expensive time in terms of capital, and also there's just not enough capital around for women to actually get affordable capital. But it's things like skills, it's things like access to market. If you speak to women in construction, for instance, it's so hard for them to get a contract, a road contract, because they'll rather be given a smaller paving or the tunnels, etc. But they won't get a larger road contract. We should be actually saying to the large contractors that you should be procuring Zambian contractors, of which a percentage should be women. We should be saying more like that, because the market is still so biased against women contractors or women-run businesses that you have to actually be very direct and focus in your approach in order to be more inclusive. And I can tell you this, I think we're not doing this to ask for favors. We're not saying be inclusive of women-run businesses because we want to pay, but because we can deliver. We are saying we can deliver. Give us a chance to do so. And that's the problem. The problem is the barriers are not allowing us to sit at the table. So give us the opportunity to do so we can perform. And sometimes that takes just being much more direct and focused and just saying, yes, we will have 20% women. Sometimes you have to do that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing is, the reality is that there are more women right now than there are men on the continent, right? And so if you're really going to push developmental goals, if you're really going to change the way in which we live, and really change things for the better, everyone has to be involved, not just half the team, which means you cannot just focus on the men to do the work, right? So as I said, you have to be deliberate about your policies. We have to know where women make the greatest impact. For instance, we know that a lot of women farmers are actually doing a lot. But what are we doing to actually create scale for women farmers, to give them what they need to scale, so they're not just sort of small-scale farmers, because we do know there are a lot of women farmers, right? But so we need to think differently about it and appreciate that nothing is going to move if you're not going to let everyone be a part of the story to change things. Yeah. So I have 2 messages. I think the first one is to the women, is that it's a special day. It means different things for different people, but today is about celebrating our wins and our achievements. I think there has definitely been progress. We are seeing many more women in leadership, in business, in all professions now. Of course, they've gone through a lot of hurdles to get there, and the doors have been open, but it means that many more of us have to come through. So women, we need to step up more and know that there will be challenges, as that is life, right? This is not free ride. but come willing to work to go forward. So continue to do that. And the second one is for men and women, the whole society, to realize that it's not just for women to celebrate Women's Day. It's not just for women to move women's issues. We live in a society where we are men and women. And therefore, for many women, including myself, I'm here because I stepped on the shoulders of men. Men who are mentors, men who are my father, my brothers, my friends who are men who really supported me to get here, as well as women. But it means that they've played a part in my success. And which means we have to encourage and congratulate the men who have brought us this far, right? But also say to the men who doubt that we're fighting what the fight for equality is. We're saying to them, understand that we're not here to take over, we're not here to take from you, we're here to move together to change society, to change the way in which we were raising our kids, to change the way in which we live, right? So I think it is a message for women to celebrate and to continue to do what they're doing, despite the odds and the challenges, and a message for society to be much more inclusive and to understand why we should be inclusive.
Thank you so much for still watching Woman360. Let's get conversating on our social media platform, Woman360 on Facebook. Like it and give us your thoughts. From MonicaMusonda, we go to a group of young ladies who are having a conversation in regards health, everyday life as a 21st century young lady, and how it is growing up, some of those challenges, some of those bizarre issues, and just the everyday life of a 21st century young woman. How does that come through? What are some of those things that are creeping up that weren't there a while ago? We start with them, and this is what they had to say.
As young people, especially youths, I feel we are not free to get access to sexual reproductive facilities, you know, where there are times whereby you're not feeling well, you feel like something is wrong, and you go to the clinic, and nurses will be looking at you and asking you questions, you know, making you feel uncomfortable. You are unable to actually open up, because when you go to a clinic, you're supposed to open up and tell them how you feel. But imagine a situation where you've gone to get help, but then the response that you get is so negative, such that you're unable to actually freely open up to tell them the problem that you have. And this has really caused a negative impact, especially on youths, because this is where now people don't have knowledge on sex issues, you know, sexual issues, and how they can be helped, you know. So I feel this has also contributed to teenage pregnancies, because like people don't even know that they can actually get access to contraceptives at the hospital, and it's supposed to be free, you know. So people don't know all that, don't have that information, because they are not free to go there and get that information. And I feel that should be changed, and the Ministry of Health should try and do something so that people are helped, especially us young people, because if us young people are, don't have that information, we are the future of this nation, and if we don't have that information and we're unable to access that information, it's really destroying our nation. So yeah.
I think abortion is the issue that should be talked about, because this it results from sexual activities. So like my friend said, if we have the full information from these health facilities like clinics, hospitals, once a youth goes to a hospital to ask about sexual reproductive systems and even facilities that will help them, even though they're engaging in sexual activities, those facilities that will help them maintain or mitigate some cases like pregnancies, it will really help out the youth in Zambia, whereby you not have a lot of abortions that are illegal. As I am aware, abortion is still illegal in Zambia, not until it's proven to be a critical situation by medical personnel. So I think if we have that access, if we don't have that stigma from these healthy facilities, it will really help mitigate the issues of early pregnancies and abortion. Because sometimes abortion it's done in hidden places by youths, because they're scared if they access the facilities, they'll have that stigma. So once they do it between two of them or somebody else they involve, that could lead to death, and we'll have a loss as a nation.
So in the society, girls must be adequately educated on sex issues, because if they are actually educated on these issues, we can't continue having early pregnancies and unwanted abortions. You would find that a girl would have an abortion privately and she'll end up dying. So I really believe that if we could facilitate these services to young girls, everything would be in place.
That's true. I strongly feel that youths should be given contraceptives simply because this will reduce the number of young people that get to be pregnant and contract these sexually transmitted infections. Trust me, most youths are having sex. In as much as our parents think people are not doing anything, and youths are having sex. So it would be very right if the health facilities get to provide contraceptives to the youths, like condoms and all that, simply because it's a fact that most of the youths in our society are having sex.
My name is Salia Mangani, and I'm a second-year student pursuing a diploma in journalism and public relations at Zamcom.
My name is Lydia Nyurongo. I'm pursuing my diploma in journalism and public relations at Zamcom.
Happy Women's Day from Zamcom!
Thank you so much for still staying tuned to us. Be part of our conversation by going to our social media platform, Woman360. Now, after that, we have to give you our male crush for today. So this next piece unveils our male crush. That there just wraps up our show for today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Join us next week, Sunday, 21:30, for more information that will celebrate, elevate, and inspire the woman. On behalf of the entire production crew, I am Judy Ngulube. Have a fantastic week.